we talk about, there's a journey involved. It doesn't happen overnight. And it needs some work, right? So Eric, something that's always top of mind is, how does this become a reality? I mean, I know for me, especially when I interact with multiple clients, they see it as like, my goodness, the peak of this mountain looks amazing. I don't know if I have the legs to climb this thing, right? So maybe if you can elaborate a little bit on what that journey has looked like and what it took to get to this point. I'll leave it up to you.
Okay. It is a journey, and that was part of the title of that slide. It's not a light switch and it's going to be fixed. It's not turn it on and it's all going to work. There is change. It's change management. That's what it is. It's rolling it out and spending the time and being committed to it. Management. Mar talked to it earlier. If he can go in there and he's reviewing positive IDs and he's providing feedback to employees or their supervisors, people know that we are engaged. He is engaged. It's important to them as well. We started off with things that people were already familiar with. We didn't add things or put concepts in front of them. One of the things we were conscious of was not adding work to them. If we were adding things that were going to create more work for them, it wasn't going to get done. As we were duplicating some efforts at times, you would see that the quality in both of them would suffer. So you'd have to make a decision, a trade-off. We're going to do one and not the other. And we focused, like I said, on things that we already knew and things we were already doing and things that we were already processes that were already established. So 2018 rollout of Sofvie to all users focused on investigation and targets. So we changed the language from compliance at that point to targets. That was a big change. It was something we hadn't done before. It gave people a different perspective on where we were going. It changed the language around it. I have to do this to, okay, I'm trying to get this. So we're trying to shift from, if you use that Hudson's ladder model, from a reactive to a compliant state. 2019, we continued the rollout with support, training. We're at sites, we're supporting supervisors. People were to the point where we were rolling out tablets, and just having a tablet in their hands was something new. Phones weren't like they are today, and everybody's got a smartphone with the screen. People still had the Blackberries, and some of them had the old flip phones. They'd never touched some of this technology before. So those are some of the hurdles that we had to get through. 2020, we rolled it out to everybody. We focused on pre-ops, lineups, and pre-tasks. Things people were already doing. And as that information got better, there started to get a pull. People were engaged, people wanted more. And as people wanted more, we had the tools ready and lined up, and we were rolling them out as people needed them and as people matured into these systems. That was the journey for us. It wasn't here we're got a mountain. It was piece by piece, little bit by little bit, and keep improving, keep tracking them, keep talking about them, keep bringing up the metrics and the dashboards and the reports. 2021, introduction of risk management module. Added the client field level risk assessment, so it made it more accessible to more of our employees, so they were in it more often, and we were actually able to record more hazards and more events, and we were able to address them. Availability in French, we started the rollout in our office in Quebec and Val-d'Or, and then TRIF Manager was added, so you can start to see, we talked about the TRIF as an organization, but you can start to see it real time. It became part of the conversation. 2022, so last year, the risk management module, we started using all the job risk assessments, and we tied them into our lineups, so employees are getting them every shift. The controls and the hazards associated with that task, they're talking about it in lineup. It's alive. You're underground, you're asking someone about their day and what they're up to. They will tell you what step they're working on, what the controls are for that task. Dashboards, so we started dashboards in Power BI. So we started the data analytics. It's something that information was there, and we could then start to see what we were doing and to start making data-driven decisions. Review from email. So for a long time, you had to go all the way back into Sofvie to go find the forms and the submissions. And for the supervisors not used to doing that, it took a lot of time. But now the employees are emailing it directly to the supervisor. Supervisor opens his Outlook. He's got the emails from the reports. He's opening the reports the same way we did it, no different. And there's a little icon, reviews it, scrolls to the bottom, hits the review icon. So just making their life easier. So small things to improve and to make life easier have made a big difference for the supervised people using it. The comment on positive recognitions, that wasn't always there, but rolling that out has driven up the engagement in the number of positive recognitions submitted. So there were 12,000, there probably were around 5,000 the year before. Just that one change created that engagement where people wanted to participate, wanted to share. If you received one that somebody else was and you worked with them, you were proud to say, hey, you know what, great work, I saw that too. The list goes on. Check This Builder, Technica Service Report, Halo Awards. That was probably one of the biggest things we did last year to help with that just drove naturally occurring quality improvements. We started highlighting and celebrating great submissions, things that people went above and beyond. So what the Halo Award was just we called it a Halo Award because it was tied with Sofvie, and we were trying to improve the quality. So we got to our numbers as far as minimum targets went, and our next journey was let's improve the quality. So we said, let's start celebrating these things. So we celebrated them. We would share them across the crews as somebody got one. We had one site that had they called it the Wall of Fame, and they took pictures of everybody who won these awards, and they had them with their award and picture on the wall. It was really cool. So all those little things generate engagement and activity, and it drives it forward. That's our journey.